All right, welcome to week 34 again. We got a bunch of folks here. We got Wani, Larry, Kurt, Dave, and Charles. And we'll have a bunch of more stragglers joining in later. All right, cool. So this is the second to last session for the month of August. Hope it's been a fun month so far, and it's definitely been a volatile earnings season. But yeah, let's check out what fun tidbits we have for you this week. So we'll run our usual poll on the S&P 500. We'll look at American Association of Individual Investor Sentiment Data. We're just talking about how the past Saturday session went for our monthly meeting. And then I got a bunch of fun idiots of the week for you. You probably heard about Mike Lynch's very suspicious death in the Mediterranean, and his business partner who also died of a car crash on the same day. Uh, Very suspicious. But we'll dub him Idiot of the Week for starters. And we'll also look at the darker rabbit holes and where those paths might lead. And then besides that, we have a bunch of trading idiots of the week that we'll take a look at, courtesy of Wall Street Bets. And we have all manners and natures of idiocy. So we'll take a look. And we'll take a look at our index overview and look at all the big names and look at the VIX, of course. And then we'll take a look at CNN's Fear and Greed Index. And we're a big fan of the, whatchamacallit, the Heinenberg-Omen there, and McKellen's index for market breadth. So we'll take a look in just a bit. We'll look at Jeffrey Hirsch's team with the Stock Traders Almanac and see how that's shaping up for August, September, and October. Oh, wait, did I skip a month? I did skip a month. Oh, wow. I was reading November last week and nobody said anything. No one's paying attention. Okay, we'll fix this in just a bit. All right. Looks like we jumped forward there. All right, this is slightly old information. Let's get rid of this. We got a couple earnings highlights to go over. Let's see what else is left for today. Workday, Ross, Intuit, Bill.com, and okay, that's about it. A little sleepy for the rest of the week. Yeah, but we'll see the overall trend for the last couple of days. And then we have a deeper dive into Macy's. And overall, we're seeing a lot more political jargon inserted into conference
It'll cut out,
calls.
don't worry. You might want to take your video off.
Oh, thank you, sir. All right. Hopefully,
Yeah, it's better.
all right, perfect. Yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, we'll take a look at the rise of political jargon inserted into earnings calls. I guess that's the flavor of the month. All right, and then we'll take a look at what our counterparty is trading with swaggy stocks and shifting to the rest of the news cycle. On the Meta and Econ side, we have PMI data, and of course, that is a very bullish indicator here with the 8-month lows. So wonderful for U.S. manufacturing, of course. We'll take a look at Lowe's also forward-looking guidance and outlook figures, and it parallels the same thing that Home Depot said last week, which is the U.S. consumer is tapped out. So we'll take a look at that. And then I found an interesting mention here on Zero Hedge. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Is this the SAM rule? SAM? But yeah, it's related to unemployment and interesting potential forward leading indicators. So we'll take a look at that. And then I pulled up some historical data so we could compare that against the current trend. And here's our existing Black Swan list with its many potential ducklings, I guess. And then we have our theaters of war, and I think that's up to date now. Okay. And we have our currency news. Let's see. We'll talk crypto for a second and look at a potential short squeeze scenario. And I'm not sure if it's positive or not, but the Dubai court has recognized crypto as a valid salary payment. So hopefully this means the Indian slaves in Dubai finally get paid. But yeah, we'll leave that to the Wahhabi school of Islam to deal with. All right, shifting to domestic news, we will take a look at the predicted stats and see how that's shaping up against our last couple of screenshots here. And yeah, lots of hilarious things at the DNC. Most notably, famed cultural anthropologist Lil Jon was performing there. If you don't know who this is a hip hop icon, more from like 10 to 15 years ago, like more my high school and college era. There were few hip hop artists bigger than this guy. But yeah, he performed at the DNC. Just really funny to me. Um, but yeah, okay. So good times there. And then what looks like Kamala has announced her proposed cabinet, which effectively proves that this would be Obama's fourth term, indirectly. And he lives 2 blocks down the street from 1600 Pennsylvania for a reason. So clearly it's not Joe running the show. But yeah, a very traditional Obama cabinet. And then Harris wants to raise the corporate tax rate to 28%, and that's going to do wonders for U.S. interests, of course. And she's talking about a unrealized tax gain proposal, which would wipe out home ownership overnight. So what most folks aren't seeing here is what happens is real estate is getting inflated, right, due to the massive money printing. So you have artificial value creation, and then you get a tax on the unrealized gains, and then you're homeless. And then Blackstone buys up your house and then rents it out to illegals and then charges you for it. So yeah, this is not going to work out very well. So yeah. All right. And then Kamala also wants to just outright replace us. So I mean, she could just say like, I hate white people and people who pay taxes, but she won't. But we'll say it for her. It's okay. All right. And on more positive news, Ford is ditching the electric SUV. So we'll take a look at that. And uh, I believe there was, I forgot which police agency is doing the same. Thought I had that here. Okay, that's okay. And then last week we talked about Ozempic and how 1 in 20 people have stomach paralysis, where basically you can't digest anything in your stomach cavity, and it makes a kidney stone look like nothing. So you'll get a stomach stone, as it were. And one in
That's
20 people,
20.
yeah, 1 in 20. And then on the plus side, you
5%.
also, yeah, you on this side, you also get suicide ideation. Something about not eating makes your body want to kill want to kill itself. So very positive news there. And then we always love demographic data. So here's some fun stuff on violent crime rates. So we'll take a look at that. And definitely it's not Chicago. And then shifting to more optimistic real estate news, we have existing home sales. It's the weakest since 2010, record low affordability. And this upcoming sugar high of the September rate cut is going to do diddly squat. But hope is springing eternally here. And then on the commercial debacle side, we're seeing more dense metros still see drastic cuts in commercial real estate valuations. And on the back end, this is going to wipe out so many regional banks. So we should maybe take a look at KRE, our regional bank ETF, in just a bit. Cool. And then with gruesome Newsom, no end to the destruction of the middle class in California, we want to now give illegal aliens, or let's just call them criminals, but yeah, well, we want to give criminals 0 down, no payment home loans. So that's always bullish for real estate. And again, one of the unspoken benefits of mass illegal immigration is real estate prices. It's for the real estate sector in general, because it crowds out the bottom and people have to find a place to sleep. So you're forcing higher occupancy rates by crowding out the bottom. Okay, shifting to more tech-oriented news. Let's take a look at what's been cooking. Oh, we talked about this last week. Palo Alto caught a party foul with this trade show expo setup, and people thought this was a little bit sexist. And then CEO, what's his name, Aurora, issued an apology. And then, out of curiosity, I was trading Palo Alto Networks anyway, and I started looking up their jobs. And you know what I found? On the marketing department, senior manager, crisis communications and reputation management. This role just opened up. So your full-time job will be to wipe the ass of the CEO when he does stupid ass things like this. Uh,
Mm.
that just deserves a downgrade by itself. There you go. Real-time market analytics. So yes, maybe the Indians in the C-suite don't know what they're doing. All right. So that's the first article of tech news. All right, number two, we're seeing some supply crunch issues on the chip side. So a lot of semiconductor interest here. So we'll take a look at this in just a bit. And then, yeah, again, with Mr. Lynch's questionable death, that I looked up the actual super yacht. It's really big and it has a full-time crew of 10. And for some reason, all the hatches were open. And they're made watertight for a reason. And you don't leave everything open unless, you're planning something sinister. So we'll take a look in just a bit. All right. Shifting to labor news, both domestically and internationally, we'll take a look at the latest white-collar layoff data. But yes, jobless claims are still at 33-month highs. And to the Great White North, looks like Canadian Freight Rail has shut down as well, and there is a strike. So Castro Jr. has to deal with that. And then interesting faux pas from the Biden's Commerce Secretary and the Bureau of Labor. Funny, it's a former governor of Rhode Island, Mrs. Gina Raimondo. And if you guys remember 40-year-old virgin, the alternate pronunciation of Gina is Gina. So you could sort of call her Governor Gina right here. But yeah. Anyway, she's not familiar with the latest unemployment stats. So it's kind of funny, but we'll take a look at that. And yes, we did have a massive jobs revision, which is clearly moving the goalpost like there's no tomorrow. But all news is good news because it brings about a September rate cut, I guess. Okay, fun stuff. Shifting to more international news. It's been a kinetic field last 2 weeks, and Russia's now also calling out foul play and demanding a U.S. envoy to talk about the large amount of American mercenaries that were captured and a news crew as well. So with Ukraine with a massive conscription shortage, this new offensive, yeah, it does raises a lot of questions. And the amount of U.S. and NATO source armament also implies skilled labor behind it. So obviously, it's not the poor kids that are just grabbed off the street that are being trained to drive M1 Abram tanks and whatnot. So yeah. But yeah, we'll look at more military hardware that's been showing up there. And at least Putin is playing this fairly patiently. He has at least the Russian bear is pretty not passive, but I guess a little bit more tactical. And it seems like with the troops focusing on the Kursk region, Donbass defense has been pulled back extensively. And still, Ukrainian death counts is still about 2,000 per day. And the Russians are still gobbling up territory at 10 kilometers a day around the Kursk region. So, yeah. Okay. So yes, the Russian bear rolls on. And on more optimistic news, monkeypox looks like there will not be a lockdown, at least not just yet, but we'll see how the UN and the WHO are going to conspire to ruin this altogether for us. But yeah, we'll take a look at that. And then shifting to continued optimism.
Politically correct.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
MPOC.
Mpox. Yeah, there you go. We don't want to insult monkeys. All right. Shifting to optimistic news in the UK, looks like power bills are blowing up, and I guess they need more of that liquefied natural gas from the unspeakable entity in the east. But yeah, they probably need to do something about that. And looks like the I guess Islamic is how do I phrase it correctly? The the uh the anti-Islamophobia riots have transitioned to a more centralized government response, but we'll take a look at that. Okay, what else? As another proxy indicator of the middle class, diamonds are plummeting in terms of demand, and everyone's suffering from Antwerp to all of the diamond producing regions as well. All right. And then doing a brief look into international demographics, we'll take a look at green card use by origin. Cool. And then oil and commodity news, uranium's beginning to pick up slightly. And gold and silver news. Gold is 2480 at the moment, but it did set a bunch of all-time high records since we last met. I think it peaked at 2515 or something. Silver's at 29. So basically, the new floor price effectively is 2,500 for gold, 30 bucks for silver, and then platinum and palladium is trying to figure this out at about 1,000. And I forgot what rhodium is. No one really trades that. Okay. And then lots of fun China news, very optimistic, of course. They're talking COVID there, and similar to Larry's point, this is going to be used for political reasons to quell civil unrest. And that's been flaming up big time there. So we'll take a look at the current amount of strikes, wage cuts, and all kinds of shenanigans. And there was a Filipino mayor that ran away last month and has disappeared and is hiding in apparently Indonesia. And it seems like she was a Chinese spy. So we'll take a look at that. Miss Alice Guo. She is exceptionally light-skinned for a Filipino person. So yeah. The Filipinos do not really look like this. Not, well, at least not the average one. Okay, but we'll take a look at that, and then got some more COVID data there, and we'll talk tariffs and Teslas and what China's future might look like. And ironically, we'll look to Japan for that. All right, and Venezuela. All right, cool. So lots of fun things to talk about. Let's jump back to the top, and let's kick off with our poll. And I would love to know where you guys think the S&P 500 will go by our next meeting next Thursday. So you should see our poll on your screen now. And Charles brings up a good point. Ozempic, the active ingredients, the glucagon's synthetic is sourced from the Gila monster. Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up. I don't think most folks know what this is. And yeah, so this is what it is. It's from Sonora. It's a venomous lizard. All right, let's share our results here. Okay, let's check this out. All right, so it looks like we got 40% bullish, 40% sideways, and 20% thinking bearish. All right, so it looks like most of us are gearing up for that rate cut coming out in about a month. And before we look at our next thing, just quick tidbit about reptiles in general. As mammals, we're ingrained to fear reptiles for venomous and poisonous reasons. And Jordan Peterson talked about this before. Uh, his daughter kept reptiles in her room, and for some reason, she didn't know why she was getting nightmares all the time. And it's because reptiles, their smell and pheromones trigger a fear response in mammals. So if you find yourself with nonstop nightmares, just move your reptile setup to a different room, and that will instantly disappear. So um, the suicide ideation related to Ozempic is not as mysterious as you think. There's just a natural mammal reaction to venomous reptiles. All right, cool. A little zoology moment for the week. And yeah, with that, let's go to our sentiment data. And let's compare and contrast here. All right, so we're seeing more pronounced optimism, 51.6% from our individual investors. Sorry, the American Association of Individual Investors here. These folks love to buy and hold for darn near forever. But yeah, so we're seeing a big chunk in bullish, a smaller, I guess, neutral camp, and a reduced bearish clump. So yeah, there is more optimism in the markets. Excellent day. All right. And is Saturday's session uploaded yet? Do we know that?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I'm sure it's there.
It's there? Okay, great. I got some homework. Oh, welcome, Gordon. Let me drop the session notes for you. And welcome, Flaw. All right, cool. Let's look at the idiot of the week. Yeah, as we mentioned, Mike Lynch. I think he faked his death. It's awfully convenient, and we'll take a look in our bigger article. Has a better has the video, but yeah. Okay, let's go to our first trading idiot of the week though. Fresh from Wall Street Bets. And they changed their cover banner here. So this is fun. We got Jansen Wong here signing boobs, Zuckerberg, what is this? Kathy Woods, Elon, and Papa Powell, right? So yeah, good times. All right, let's take a look at this idiot. No ear mofo 7801. All right, so he has $70 now, or 71 if you round up. And which broker is this? I can't tell. Is this Robinhood? No, I think it's something else. But anyway, his account has imploded. So at his peak, he was year to date almost 900,000. Wow, he melted down 900,000 to $71. That is crazy. Wow.
How did he do it?
Let's see. He's milking SPY.
In how
He's trying to
contract
call
SPY?
he's trying to call moves on SPY with $900,000. He could have run the wheel. He
Oh
could have
my.
sold short-term credit spreads, but no, he wanted to call out each iteration of the ocean waves instead. Should have bought. I deserve this for being a bear, and he was bearish. Poor guy. But yes,
Wow.
you turned $1 million into one bag of food I feed my dog monthly. Wow. Oh my God. Oh, wow. That is
Wow.
That is bad. This guy is on suicide watch.
He probably have a lot left, maybe somewhere else. This is probably just his play money. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know. I
That's a,
mean,
that's a lot
I,
of money to play with.
yeah, that's a decade or two's worth of earnings. Let's see what else he's posted, just out of curiosity. Um, I'm interested to see. Yeah, like you, Wani, I'd like to know what kind of person is this? Oh no, he's just a degenerate gambler. Look at this guy. Yeah, end of day spy
How old
calls.
is he? How old?
The way he types, younger than me.
Yeah.
How
So in
does
the
he get?
30s, let's assume.
Yeah,
How
probably
does he get
30s.
that much money? Okay,
Good
let's say he's
question.
35.
I
How
don't know.
did he
I don't know.
accumulate that much
Inheritance,
money to, okay, inheritance maybe.
maybe inheritance, tech. I don't know. These are all good questions. Um, he's not very smart, but yeah. Uh, he's not tech savvy either. Oh, I don't know. This whatever. A fool and his money is soon parted. So clearly that applies to this guy. Okay, next loser. All right. All right. And oh, I gotta back up. The ultimate loser, the ultimate loser. This guy who bought a Cybertruck. I'm not sure you guys saw it. All right. So this is a listing off Carfax. $135,000 in Bluffdale, Utah. Oh my gosh, he's Mormon. Poor Ryan. Going through divorce, selling brand new Cyber Beast, only owned for 2 weeks. This privately owned beauty is the lowest priced beast in Utah, owned outright in Bluffdale. Oh my gosh. The Mormon divorce rate is horrific. People don't
That's
talk about
probably
this.
why he got his divorce.
Yeah. And he paid this off with cash. It's like, no. He was
Hey,
he was
Warren, you were
that
saying that you were saying that Mormon's divorce rate is incredible. It's really high.
yes. I've worked in two Mormon companies and I've seen a lot of bullshit. So I can elaborate briefly. But yeah, Mormons are complicated. And again, the sister wives thing is only in the hereditary line, which is a very small minority, and doesn't apply for the most part. Um, but yeah, do we have any Mormons here that would be offended? Not really. Okay. Let
Actually,
me,
yes, but I'm
Dave?
not offended at anything.
Okay. Uh,
You're not Mormon, right, Dave?
Mom
um,
is.
Oh, your mom? Oh,
and
okay.
In theory, I am.
Mormons are some of the
Yeah.
nicest people in the world, but they can also be really weird too, because it's just a slightly bizarre incentive structure in the near term and in the afterlife. Like it's complicated. Christians will say this is clearly a cult. I would say this cult is really well armed, so I wouldn't talk too much shit. But yeah, it's just complicated. So yeah, and then they ban substances or any controlled substance, any active psychoactive substances, even caffeine. And they have weird workarounds around not losing your virginity called soaking and anal sex and oral sex with the young, blah, blah, blah. And if you kind of look deeper into the missionary program for the young men between the ages of 18 and 22, they have to work, on a mission trip for 2 years. And they look like, short sleeve kids with black ties on a bicycle. Um, you know, I think this is slowed down in the post-COVID world, but a lot of folks get their doors knocked on by Mormon missionaries. But the darker reason for Mormon missionary work is so that the church elders can marry the women. 18-year-old women kept at home, 18-year-old men, shipped off to Guam. Like, that's an interesting business model. Um, and then South Park does a lot of parodies on these guys. So, but yeah, okay. So that's Utah for you, and it's a little complicated, but yeah, um, yeah. And again, they don't play nice with other Christian groups anyway. It's a bizarre interaction. And then every other Mormon family that I knew had like a catastrophic medical emergency with the children, like quadriplegic, Down syndrome, autism. Um, and then that's why other Christians call them, like this cult is cursed in a big way. And you look at them genetically, and it doesn't make sense. Like this is all German Irish stock, hybrid vigor galore. This just doesn't make sense. But I've just seen a lot of problems with that. So, but yeah, every Mormon family, a lot of, stock in their pantry, guns, generators, medical supplies. Like they are prepared for the end times better than anybody else as a collective group. I think I've talked about before. There's an LDS prepper manual that a bunch of my friends have. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. It's like how to can food, how to do power. It's a lot of stuff. It's just it's a free PDF. Oh yeah, I'll just paste in the chat. It's kind of incredible. So yeah, again, these guys, you can talk a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, they're ready for hell on earth, which is kind of impressive. So this is just food prep and weapons, but yeah, water treatment, waste disposal. So yeah.
But I'm going to fight for them on this one. They were thrown out of cities and states for like 30 years. So being tarred and feathered or, whatever, kind of leads you to want food and be able to
Yeah.
survive if the world's against you.
Yeah. What other interesting tidbits? Like I like to read the ex-Mormon forums. They're fascinating.
They come out of God, what's that? I just blanked out. The big school, they come out of that very
BYU. Yeah, BYU.
arrogant. I mean, like
Yeah.
you think Eric comes out of the Ivy Leagues, it's worse. BYU.
Yeah, BYU. And then there's BYU Hawaii,
Breeds
which is
this thing
Asian.
where all the women think they should be rich, and they really are
Yeah,
fighting over
yeah.
all the same.
It is dangerous, yeah. And then like young Mormon wives, have lots of kids, do multi-level marketing for skincare, and then promptly rip their husbands a new asshole around age 35 to 40. It's like clockwork. So yeah, and then there's the 10% tithing, which is verified with your tax returns. But they also there's unemployment benefits and substantial private charity within the church too. So it's a complicated society that the Mormons have built. And Joseph Smith. This is probably an insight you've never heard of, but did you know that the Mormons are or the founding Mormons were Freemasons? Here we go. Yeah, Joseph Smith, Freemasonry. Because one time I DJ'd for this Mormon VP. He was working at an Indian company, which is kind of interesting, and he was tripping balls over my Masonic ring. And then he told me all about Joseph Smith and how he was a Mormon. Sorry, he was a Freemason, and then I was like, then I looked it up, and it was true. And but yeah, Freemasonry can be used for the wrong purposes because you build up the social infrastructure for substantial secrecy. Like this is reasons why the Templars' letter of credit was honored from, the UK British Isles to Jerusalem. And you can only do that because you had bulletproof, integrity and it's connected to a ledger. So that can be misused for, say, creating a cult. Okay. Enough with Mormonism and zoology, but yeah.
And then also the men can have many wives, right?
That is only for the hereditary line. It doesn't apply to 99% of Mormons. The one
Oh,
that marries multiple wives is they're the Shia Mormons of their faith, and they're a tiny minority, statistically insignificant. But it makes
okay.
great PR, and people talk about it to death. But
Oh.
if you're a smart man, you do not want a bunch of wives under the same roof. You want them separated.
Well, 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 first you
Otherwise,
have to have a lot of money.
that is true. You do need money. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
important. Okay,
That's why men in Asia can have so many wives, because only the rich men can do that.
yes. All right. Speaking of money, let's look at loser number 2. All right, let's this guy. This guy says, made and lost 700,000 in 3 weeks. Don't ask me
Wow.
anything. All right, let's see what he traded.
Wow.
So he is raw dogging the ES futures. I give up, fuck this market and fuck me. Futures short position. Wow, negative 60 contracts. Wow, underwater.
Wow.
It's an election year and he's trying to short the S&P 500 in going out into September. Wow, like why do you have so much money? How can you be this stupid and trading on your phone? All right. Let's see. The market didn't fuck you. Thinking you were smart enough to succeed at futures trading fucked you. Oh, that's true. We'll upload that. Okay. Clearly, this guy has never heard of paper trading. All right. All right. Number 3, loser of the week. Oh, welcome, Linda. Let's drop the session notes for you.
Thanks. Hello, guys.
Welcome.
Hello.
All right. Let's see. This guy says, bring on the suicide helpline numbers. And this is Riley, right? Is this O'Reilly? Let me double check. O'Reilly stock. I believe this is it. No, Riley is B. Riley Financial. This has nothing to do with what he wants. Okay. Okay, this is not auto parts. This is this dumb penny stock thing. What the hell is this? And it's losing money like crazy, and a 52-week low practically. 30% yield. Oh, that's for a reason. But this guy didn't get the memo. All right, let's see what this idiot did. So this guy was probably oh yeah, we don't talk about this a lot, but there's a large cohort of investors and traders that purely trade for dividends at the risk of ignoring everything else, like principal, market cap, and stuff like that. But I guess this is one of them. So yeah, this guy has what, 24,000 shares, blah blah blah, cost basis of about, what is this, over $9, and he lost how much money? $750,000, and he lost a third of that. No, lost 2/3 of that. Holy shit. But he got that 30% yield, right? Oh my gosh. All right. Let's see. Least favorite, yeah. Please hang yourself and whip yourself. The Intel guy making fun of you is the best. Oh my gosh, that's pretty good. Oh my gosh. Wow. Different losers are capping on each other. This is awesome. All right, so yeah, this is a dividend trader that got wiped out and has never heard of the word protective put in his life. Even Mark Cuban knows what a protective put is, and this guy didn't, so pretty sad. Let's see if we can find out more about this loser. Is it a girl? LGBT girl or something? Let's see. Okay, this person likes to game. Okay, that's not good. League of Legends fan. Mostly stock oriented. Okay. Looks like this person is really married to the Riley stock for some reason. And is in the East Coast. Plays a lot of video games. Interesting. And is in Maryland. Okay. All right. So that's that moron. All right. Hope you feel better about yourself. Next idiots of the week. And don't forget, this is our counterparty. When we sell premium, this is the other side. It's great. And last week we talked about the ASTS blow up. You know, that was it on Thursday. It was 50% up. And looks like some folks were chasing old news and got caught. Let's take a look at ASTS and see how they're performing. Okay, so it looks like the top was 38, but it looks like it's over for sure, or at least it's forming a nice early kind of dead cat bounce pattern. But yeah, so that's the strikes. Let's go back and see what happened to this guy. Okay, so let's see. Short-term calls that expire tomorrow. Am I reading this right? He bought the 100 strike? Really? What?
Huh?
40, sorry. This is the 40 strike? 40 call, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so you bought the 40 calls. And
What,
since it
100 contracts?
I'm not sure what this notation is, but you got the 40 strike at least. Okay. What else? Yeah. Just chasing old news and thought the rocket ship would continue. So clearly there's going to be no funds for the designated beneficiary here. Okay. So yeah. All right. So this is a space satellite idiot here. All right. Last loser of the week. All right, this is from 2 days ago. This person cooked up, went bye-bye with $57,000. So that's what, 100 grand on W2 income, or maybe 90. There's 156 left, and I thought there was what was the moves again? I thought he posted it. Where's his moves? It was okay. Sorry, I thought maybe I posted the wrong one. Okay, we'll skip this one because this doesn't post positioned. Sorry about that. All right, we'll remove that. Okay, cool. Let's get back to the rest of the market. But yeah, so hopefully this makes you feel better about your trades because there's lots of losers out there. Like remember you could be the proud owner of a paid off Cybertruck that's getting divorced. Oh, this will show up in the separation agreement in court. This guy's gonna have to split the full purchase price because she's probably not gonna want the remnant value. Oh my gosh, this is like the forensic accountants and attorneys are gonna have a field day with this. Wow. So this paid off asset is so underwater, and we could probably find what you call it? Sorry, Cybertrucks have broken these six-figure amounts. They're being sold for under $100,000 now. We'll skip this, but yeah, we're a little short on time, but yeah. Okay, we'll circle back to that. Okay. Cool. So with that, let's go to the big charts and talk indexes. And what did Flav post here? Wait till Robinhood starts offering futures soon. Wow. I mean, I've been paper trading the ES, and it's been nice to sell credit spreads that run through the night. So see, you can do it the diligent way with paper trading. But yeah, looks like this will be fun. Okay. All right, let's get back to our Thinkorswim and let's start with our S&P 500, the biggest 500 companies of the US economy. And we'll start with the different tiers of the product. And we'll start with the future side, of course, the supposed smart money. And it looks like Schwab needs a beating yet again. Come on, Schwab. All right, looks like the market has continued to drift further down. Oh, that is a beautiful dead cat's bounce pattern. Look at that technical analysis. That is a beautiful pattern. Nice suckers rally, and it's hitting person's pivots perfectly. Wow. Awesome. All right. So with that, let's look under the hood. And it looks like momentum is flat at the zero. So the market isn't sure what to expect. And everyone is desperately waiting for cheaper money in September. But that's going to be temporary and it's just a sugar high. But we still need it, I guess. All right, so put call ratio, it's a normal trading day. Fair value is 1.4. Contract sizes are a little bit low, but it seems okay for today. Let's see, the sizzle numbers are still broken. Thanks a lot, Swab. They're never going to fix this. But yeah, let's go down to the second tier of smart money with the big boy option contracts of SPX. And if you recall, one of our trading idiots of the week, that guy was what, rolling with some several $100,000 and only playing SPY over SPX. So just on that thing alone, you can tell that he's a novice because, you know, he's overpaying his commissions and not trading SPX. But yeah, retail is for suckers, and our job is to not be a sucker. If you don't know who the sucker is at the poker table, it's you. All right, come on, SPX. Come on. Come on. All right, come on. Option analytics. Come on, buddy. Come on. Okay. All right. Oh, wow. Double clicked. All right. Come on. I think it was like a 1.3. Okay, 1.2. All right, so normal trading day, this fair value is about 1.3, 1.4. Let's look at the deltas really quick. Yeah, it's a nice boring day, no extremes. It's just a drawdown day. It's nothing crazy, but I know a lot of the zero DTE guys probably had their strikes a little bit too close and they're screaming bloody murder now. All right, let's look at SPY. Come on. Come on, Schwab. How can you be this slow? With each passing week, you get slower and slower. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay. All right. On the put call ratio, we're seeing a number under one, which is unusual. Fair value is also around 1.4. So I guess folks are buying the dip. Hope springs eternally for retail. And yeah, very sleepy on the bearish deltas. So yeah, people are really buying the dip. Okay. And let's go to the other retail popular index with the Qs, very tech heavy. And let's see how the NASDAQ is shaping up. I'm tempted to look up the NASDAQ futures, but if Swab is this slow, like, they would just skip it. Oh, come on, NASDAQ. How could you load any slower? Oh, come on. Ah, Sorry, guys. Oh, come on. Let me just turn off Discord. Let's free up a little bit of RAM. Come on. Q, Q, Q. Come on, Swab. Come on. If you're thinking about upgrading your MacBook Pros, the M4 chip may come out this fall. So I might hold off for that. Okay, here we go. Looks like we're seeing confirmation of our SPY analysis, and we're seeing pronounced optimism here and a very similar skew here on the deltas. So yeah, it looks like retail is buying the dip. And yeah, people are looking forward for a bounce upward with the rate cut and election mania. And let's go to the charts really quick though and look at on balance volume for the Qs because being good traders here, we should watch the momentum. So looking here, we are definitely above the zero line. We're not as strong as early July, but we're getting there. So there is some pronounced optimism. But yeah, we are definitely off our July highs, and momentum is perfectly matching price action. So we are seeing the trend correctly here. Okay, so that's what the Qs are doing and retail. Let's go to the Russell 2000, which has been relatively popular the last couple of months. I think it's unwarranted, but sure. Small caps have been in favor. And come on, Swab, let's look at some small cap stocks. Gosh, Swab, how can you be this slow? I think this might be a record. Definitely too many things running. How many tabs is this? Yeah, okay. All right, Russell 2000. I call this affectionately the schizophrenic index because it loves to overreact over everything. But for once today, it is underperforming compared to the S&P 500. So we got to give credit where credit is due. At least today, the ex-girlfriend index didn't act crazy. All right, so here's momentum.
You say bad things about it, but if you think about it, the volatility actually is a benefit for option sellers.
For sure, for sure. It's just
There's a lot of people who trade red because of that.
Yeah. I am not one of them, but that's okay.
Yeah.
S&P is good enough for me. Okay. But yeah, let's look at momentum here. It's definitely a higher plateau than the June season here, but it's not great. And similar to the Nasdaq, it's not as running as hot as early July. But yes, momentum is or on balance momentum here is predicting price action perfectly. So we're seeing high correlation here. Okay. And let's look under the hood really quick. Let's see. That's what 36 vol for today. Okay, let's so this is fair value is about 2.3. So 1 point anything is very optimistic. So this is extremely bullish, even with this bearish figure. So yeah, interesting. Okay, so that's a Russell for you. And can we look at the diamonds without our application blown up here? Come on, come on. Oh, DIA, come on. DIA, DIA. while we're gonna wait forever for this, let's see. Flav is talking shit here. Where's Rob to defend Linux for a second? But yes, Flav says, spend your money, get a Windows laptop, then spend the rest on champagne because your toss is way faster. Yeah, I might have to do that. But uh, in case you want to pair your champagne, Whole Foods has dollar oysters on Friday, and if you want to see the seafood guy like cry tears, you can ask him to shuck it for you. Prime time at 5 p.m. But yeah, there's good stuff there. Local stuff, Eastern Seaboard stuff for $1 an oyster. It's practically given away. Um, oh, dude, that is great, Dave. Great picture from Dave. The on fire Tesla. That's on brand. Warranty voided. All right, let's look at the Dow Jones for a second. This is the most optimistic index of them all. This is the kid that likes to eat glue in the corner. If the numbers will load. Uh, while it's doing that, let's look at this article from Flav on Robinhood. Oh wait, here's Robinhood. Advanced traders. Wait, what is this? Robinhood.
That might be good for competition on fees of other brokers.
Mm,
And I hear they're going to do SPX too. So.
that would be interesting. Tradier has some competition and tasty no less. Excellent. Okay, cool. And 120. That later. Okay, let's get back to our show here. Okay, so yeah, did we look at the VIX we did, right? Okay, we'll skip that. Okay. This never loaded. Freaking swap. Wow. All right, we're just gonna skip this. Something's wrong with swap. Okay. All right. We'll see the VIX stuff here. Okay. All right. Well, this is our next layer of analysis. If CNN will play nicely with us, let's see what the aggregate score is. Is my audio dropping? Let me turn off my VPN. Can you guys still hear me? Is audio okay? Can you guys still hear me?
Somebody should tell him to run process manager top or something.
Oh,
He
hello?
does.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
it's good
here.
now.
Ooh, he's gone again.
What? I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay.
Okay. All right, turn off the VPN. I think that should help a little bit. Okay, sorry about that. All right, let's look at CNN's Fear and Greed Index. So the aggregate score is 48. Yesterday was 50. A week ago was 33. A month ago was 48. And then it was 43 a year ago. So still fairly optimistic. And the lowest print we saw was 19. All right, let's take a look at the S&P. Looks like we're kind of forming a nice buffer zone above the 125 moving day average here. So they're going to check that off as greed. I would more say that it's complacency than greed. And then let's see. Here's the Heidenberg Omen comparing 52-week highs against 52-week lows. And the delta of that is still on the low side. So not a lot of high flyers overall. I guess this is like market breadth at the extremes. And looking at market breadth at the sort of median value, here we're comparing the overall number of shares rising versus falling. And that's the McKellen index. So that is a little bit on the greed side at the moment. And then we'd already talked about put call ratio, and this is a retarded way to look at it, so we'll skip it. Here's the VIX data. Today we're at what? 17, 16? Somewhere bouncing around there. And historically, we were just at that recent blow up that peaked at 38 for the intraday close back on August 5th. Will we have another high VIX move like this? Maybe. Maybe before November at least. All right. So that's where we are historically. And with that, let's go to the Stock Traders Almanac. And I can't believe I pasted November's readout last time and no one said anything. Let's see if I can find the next one. All right, let's find October, not November. Meanwhile, it's Thursday. Taco Thursday, or at least yeah, October. There we go.
You're back on November, huh?
Yeah. Sorry. Here we have the correct month. Okay, perfect. All right. There we go. How come no one said anything? Okay. All right. Let's read August's. So yeah, this, if you're new to the Stock Traders Almanac, Jeffrey Hirsch's team puts together a lot of historical data. I guess they were the original or one of the sort of index data scientists before, data scientist was a thing. All right, looking at the August readout, historically, harvesting made August the best stock market month from 01 to 51. Now that about only 2% of labor is dedicated to farming, August is the worst Dow and second worst S&P and NASDAQ month since 1988. It is the second shortest bear in history at 45 days caused by turmoil in Russia. The currency crisis and hedge fund debacle ended here in 98, blah, blah, blah. And then Saddam Hussein triggered a 10% slide in 1990. And the best Dow gains were 82, 84 as bear markets ended. Next to last S&P day is up only 9 times the last 27 years. And in presidential election years, August ranks number 5 for the S&P, number 4 for the Dow, and number 1 for the NASDAQ. Has the NASDAQ performed out well this year? Let's double check really quick. Well, why is nothing working?
It's gremlins on your computer today.
Really? Yeah. Uh, All right, NASDAQ. Let's see if you were number one for August. Oh, Yahoo Finance doesn't play well. Come on. Oh, let's back up. Let's not go there. Let's try Market Watch. 1 month. Here we go. Has this been the best NASDAQ month? Started what? 459, and we are at 475. I guess it's up. I don't know if it's the best NASDAQ month ever. There might be some better months, but yeah, it's up at least. Okay, so that's the August read, at least for the NASDAQ. Let's check out September. Portfolio managers back. Oh, wait, quick reminder. So supposedly the almanac says next to last day, S&P up only 9 out of the last 27 years. So potentially the S&P will close poorly for the month next week. So just keep that in the back of your head. Okay, September. Portfolio managers back after Labor Day tend to clean house in September. Biggest percentage loser on the S&P, Dow, and NASDAQ since 1950. Streak of 4 great Dow Septembers, averaging 4.2% gains. Ended in 99 with 6 losers in a row, averaging negative 5.9%. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Day after Labor Day, Dow is down 11 of the last 15, and S&P opened strong 17 of the last 28 years, but tends to close weak due to end of quarter mutual fund portfolio restructuring. And last trading day, S&P is down 19 the past 30. And September triple witching week can be dangerous. Week after is pitiful. Excellent. And here's our October almanac. Let's see. Beware October phobia from crashes in 29, 87, and 97. And back-to-back massacres of 78 and 79. Friday the 13th of 89 and the 2008 meltdown. Yet October is a bear killer and turned the tide in 13 post-World War II bear markets. First October Dow top in 07. Worst 6 months of the year ends with October. It is no longer the worst month. Best Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ month from 93 to 07. And presidential election year, October's rank, since 1950, ranked number 12 for the Dow, number 12 for the S&P, and number 12 for the NASDAQ. October is a great time to buy. And big October Dow gains include 5 years of 99 to 03 after atrocious Septembers. And entering the best 6 months earlier using MACD, blah, blah, blah. October 22 was the best Dow month by points, up 4,000 or 14%. Okay. Excellent. And I still don't have sector rotation data, so we'll skip that. And what is Dave saying?
Not
My
saying.
browser screw up might be due to Chromium not getting updates. Oh, that's Windows 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Windows 7.
Definitely
Except for
better.
it has some serious security issues.
Yeah, God, I don't want to get back to the Windows
Yeah.
system at all, but yeah. I would have to get what's the standard one now? 11? Maybe 10?
11.
11.
Well, yeah, that's not gonna be fun.
Schwab doesn't support 7. They
Oh,
stopped ago.
When was that?
2 years ago, Schwab stopped supporting 7. At least they wouldn't support it for me.
Log
Oh,
has 7 though, right?
Yeah, no issues. I only use it for trading, not web browsing. So it's trading machines only.
There you go. Okay. Let's talk earnings. let's look at Macy's. And here's a kind of a smorgasbord of different folks. Okay.
I wasn't using Toss. I was using their other damn platform.
Think pipes. What else do they have? On the Schwab side or the Ameritrade side?
On the Schwab side.
They have Street Street Smart Edge?
Yeah,
I
they
think
got
it's gone now.
they got all kinds of street smarts, but I think those are gone now.
Yeah. Street Smart Edge did have a manual like walk down, which is kind of cool for like pennying in and pennying out of positions. That was really cool. Okay, Macy's. This is continuing our existing theme of the weekend US consumer. And here's some indicators from the luxury environments of, excuse me, of how bad that might look. And basically, Macy's lowered its annual outlook on sales to between 22 to 22.4 billion, compared to the previous forecast of 22.9 billion. Okay. It will be a more rocky remainder of the year. This is a disappointing result for Macy's and a sharp cut to the company's forecast for sales and comp trends for the full year. So yeah, Macy's is in trouble. And this is totally in line with what Home Depot and Lowe's has said as well. And with McDonald's and Disney warning about consumer spending, we're going to see a lot of fallout in the low to middle class demographics. Excellent. And no surprises to any of us, you're seeing a lot more rhetoric about the political landscape and using that as a justification for C-suite incompetence. I was looking into Dell's latest financials. So their layoffs weren't even necessary. They're extremely profitable. They're just cutting a lot of fat. So, I mean, same move with Elon Musk, asking for his massive pay cut and then burning everybody and firing huge chunks of important teams. So, yeah. So here's like the transcript of all the different companies talking election rhetoric. Let's see, who do we recognize here? Datadog, that's local. Air Products and Chemicals. So yeah, a little bit reaching, but sure. I guess this is the fiduciary responsibility cop-out, I guess. Okay. All right, good to know. Let's take a look at our counterparty and see what they're trading today. All right, top mentions on the Wall Street Bets forum today include NVIDIA, Lunar, Clove, ASTS, Peloton, Wayfair, Snowflake, Made, Rocket Lab, this is just a buzzword, the Qs, Zoom, Cava, Tesla, Intel, Starbucks, Donald Trump's really dumb company, AMD, Siri, Microsoft, Apple, Meta, Line. What is Line? Amazon and Dips.
The line isn't it a line? Isn't that the dental one? Maybe. Where
Line
they have.
stock. Yeah. Remember, that was those dental stocks were really big during lockdowns because everyone spent their stimulus money and got Invisalign and dumb stuff.
I'm wrong.
This is Lineage. Yeah, I don't know what this is. What is Lineage? Can we get a profile? Profile. What is Line? Real estate. It's a REIT. Oh, game over. It's a dumb REIT. Okay. All right. Anything else interesting? Anything really red? Apple has more red than, no, not really. Qs doesn't look great. Yeah, it's slightly more red than positive. Yeah, I mean, for a red day today, it's not that bad. Okay.
Yeah, Microsoft is down 1.8%. NVIDIA is down almost 3%.
Okay, so the tech high flyers, got it. Okay.
Yeah, all of them are red.
Okay. Let's go
AMD is
to
down almost 4%.
Wow.
let's take a look really quick. Let's go to the weekly view. These are all the tickers that have weekly option contracts. So, and if you hold the shift key, or is it shift? Yeah, command, sorry. Oh, I didn't know you could zoom in like that. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. I just learned something. Okay. Let's go back to the parent. Okay, so here's the weekly's view for all the 11 subsectors that make up the S&P 500. Okay, yeah, looks like all of IT is red. Holy cow. Tesla's down 4. NetEase is down 12%. Baidu just had earnings. They're down 4 or 5%. Okay. All right, so nice and bearish. All right, bears are feasting today. Okay. All right, let's get back to our news cycle. We're a little bit short on time, so let's speed up through the lesser articles. But yeah, PMI data. This is producer manufacturing. What's the I stand for? Index. So it's not consumer prices, it's producer prices. So this is a little bit higher up in the value chain. So more manufacturing and industrial throughput focused here. So this is obviously a big driver of jobs and GDP and everything. So having this be really soft is not good. So that's our meta article number 1. Let's look at some more continued U.S. consumer sentiment data, courtesy of Lowe's. All right, so blah, 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 lower than expected do-it-yourself sales, of course. And what else? Based on lower than expected do-it-yourself sales and a pressured macroeconomic environment, the company is updating its outlook for operating results of the year 2024. Blah, blah, blah. Challenging macroeconomic backdrop, especially for the home owner. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, very optimistic, obviously. Okay, wonderful. And then here's the SAM rule. Has anyone heard of this before? This indicator has predicted perfectly predicted every U.S. recession since 1930. And what it is basically is here's the historical information. Okay,
It's the latest economic fad that the media has come up with to sell clicks.
I think Larry's on the money here. So yeah, the formal translation is the 3-month moving average of the national unemployment rate of U3 that rises 0.5 percentage points or more relative to the minimum of the last 3 months average for the previous 12 months. So it's the rolling 3-month average of the last 12 for U3. And we know U3, they are jiggering a lot. We don't quite have the time to go into the exact employment formula here, but it is doctored to no end. So yeah, here's the historical data. So yeah, if this goes up 3 quarters, then this finally predicts a recession. Okay, but yes, on the current scale, it's only a 40% probability. Okay. All right, let's fast forward a little bit. Let's jump to our currency news. Oh, let's look at dollar strength really quick and see where we are, relatively speaking. if this will load. Come on, TradingView. Load the chart. Please load the chart. Oh my gosh. Ah, come on, guys. Something's wrong with this computer. Maybe I should have restarted it today. No data here yet. Why is that? Come on, buddy. All right, forget you dollar strength. We'll skip it. All right. Anyway, let's talk cryptos for a second. So if you look at our last couple of articles in the crypto space, a large groups of Bitcoin holders are holding for the long term. And even with the Mt. Gox contingent, a lot of folks are holding on. So we might be seeing a nice strong plateau forming at least. So what is this? Where's this chart? Okay. I am not sure how to read this. Let me back up out of this chart. Where's the other one? Oh, here we go. Okay, looking at ETF performance, we know Grayscale is not the popular one with its high management fees, but everyone else is seeing inflows, except Bitwise at the moment. But overall, we're still seeing continued net inflows. And we might see some cannibalization due to the spin up of the Ethereum side as well. But let's see, here is institutional exposure over the top 25 hedge funds. Looks like at first glance, there's what, 10, 12 holdouts of the top 25 that have not bought the ETF. Okay. And then here's Bitcoin performance by region. And ironically, the US side is performing the worst. Interesting. That's not what I expected. Okay. But yeah, we'll see how this shakes up. And here's Dubai again, trying to make crypto a little bit more valid for day-to-day transactions here. But their human rights abuses against their Indian laborers is still legendary. Okay, not much here. All right, let's go to domestic news. And let's talk about the fun stuff with Kamala Harris. All right, let me load the latest predicted items and let's take a look. Come on, buddy. Okay, here's predicted. All right, presidency. Let's grab this screenshot. August 22. Okay. All right, let's compare and contrast. Can we do this here? Okay. Yeah, we can do it here, I think. Okay. So let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. Just bear with me. I'll read out the figures. All right. So this week, let's see, who is the presidential winner compared to last week? Okay. So this week, 53 cents to Kamala, 50 cents to Donald. Last week, it was 57 to Kamala, 46 to Donald. So it looks like Donald is slightly better at the moment. And what else? Will Harris be the next US president? 58 before the DNC, after the 3-day insanity, 2 cents down. And then Trump went up 2 cents. Or no went up 2 cents. Okay. And then let's see, anything else interesting?
So RFK maybe is going to back
Yeah,
Trump
I saw that Friday. Yeah.
Wow.
If he becomes attorney general, that would be amazing. You know what? You know
Yeah,
what?
all of them. I think it'd be great to bring in people, and you got a 6-week trial. If you go kick everybody's butt, you're staying in the job.
Hell, just make RFK director of the CIA. Like let's just go full hog. All right. So we'll circle back to that. But yeah, her proposed cabinet is just Barry Obama, term 4 basically. But yeah, corporate tax rate hike, not going to be good for jobs. It seems like she's dedicated on destroying, or let me correct that. Her bosses just want to destroy the US economy. I mean, I wouldn't do anything differently. But yeah, if unrealized gains get taxed, like we're all
Oh,
gonna be
no.
we're all gonna be homeless. Except the unless you have large significant assets that are off the books. If they're shiny, if they come in a box, guarded by guns and locks, then maybe you have a chance.
What about her price control?
Yeah, that is not
That
going to
is
end well at all.
so terrible.
This is really the fall of the Roman Empire,
Yeah.
Diocletian's edicts, and that was the fall of the eastern side on the Byzantine side. But yeah, and then here's amnesty for illegals. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's just nuts.
Gosh.
Like guys, like we just got to be honest. Like the U.S. government hates us as productive taxpayers. They're obviously trying to kill us and replace us. And
But-
money,
But why do you think they want to do that?
because we're
It's just-
ungovernable. Like, Wani, you're a pain in the
Yeah.
ass. Dave's a pain in the
Yeah.
ass. I'm a pain in the ass.
Right.
We hold the government accountable. And that's the last thing they care about.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do our part and make money and do the patriotic thing of not paying taxes and escaping the false
taxes.
So somebody needs to turn these into numbers. At a certain category of having houses and things like that. This is what they're going to take from you.
Exactly. So if they're going to be,
if you have a 401k that's up $500,000, this is what they're going to take from you.
exactly.
I know. I mean, we talked about before. Cyprus, they just jack bank accounts, savings. They just nationalized everyone's bank account. This has happened before.
What do you mean by nationalized saving account?
Yeah,
They bail you. They take your money.
They take your money. Then no one would put their money in the bank then.
Well, it's too late now.
It's happened. Cyprus, they nationalized the savings accounts. Nationalized savings. What year was this?
2010 maybe.
This new search engine I'm playing with sucks ass. Ecosha or something, whatever. Cyprus, come on. Cyprus, savings account.
2010. Oh no, 15.
Nationalized.
I think it was like 12 or 13, but I can't
Maybe
remember.
15. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that Bing doesn't want me to find out when this. Here we go. Finally, this is old news. If you can believe that. So this is the fallout of the pigs.
There's no FDIC insured.
Yeah, there's no treasury agent here, or treasury officer trying to move your money around. But yeah, so this is happening in 2013. So But yeah, Fluff
So
has
you-
a good
so-
point. Yeah, international bank accounts aren't covered under federal depositors insurance.
So you mean they basically just seize your bank account?
It happened. It happened.
I know.
Like this is not a power exclusive to China. And then we did the same thing to Russian assets, or we stole the Russian foreign reserves on the European side.
Well, that's not permanent yet.
Yeah, but
And they're collecting the interest right now. And they might have to give it back anyway.
Yeah.
So you think that can happen in the US?
FDR did it during the Depression.
Yeah.
Everybody, he went into everybody's safe deposit boxes and yanked all the gold.
and
Gave
again,
a piece of paper back.
yeah.
So
And-
the
and-
other obvious one is that they set property taxes at like 5%. New York's hammering people on property taxes.
Yeah, and the 1-2 punch finish is taxing unrealized gains.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Oh, no way.
Because then every homeowner will get wiped out, and then Blackstone is just waiting at the court steps to buy your distressed real estate, and then they're gonna rent it out to illegals.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
So then we should not put any money in the bank. Should just have enough for expenses.
right.
Well, no, but
and then
they'll come after anything.
I mean, the more hidden and portable it is, the more valuable that asset class is. So
But if
maybe
you think about it, if the foreign assets can't be identified as something that's good, they'll say that it's money laundering. I mean, that's the
Mhm.
trick that happens to the Brits all the time.
Mhm.
So you don't think people will fight this if the
No.
no, we're gonna just
No,
let them.
People didn't even fight COVID. People
Yeah,
refuse
my
to fight a
God.
face mask.
That-
Like
That's why you have to get ahead of this. Somebody needs to start creating content that says this is what it's going to cost you, and start warning people, because you got to have a critical mass of 100,000 people just out of their minds angry.
pitchforks.
screaming
Even
and
that's not
yelling.
enough. Even
Pitchforks.
that's not
Well,
enough.
no, but to get the ball rolling, you need a lot of people
Yeah,
very angry.
this is ridiculous. How we could let
It's
such
a
things
communist.
happen?
Yeah.
It just beyond.
Don't worry, it's okay. Things
No,
things
it's not
things
okay.
things will get a lot worse before they get better. Don't worry.
So what do
Okay.
we do? What do we do?
Well, you
buy
start-
a little bit more gold. Buy a little bit more gold.
you start talking about people getting assassinated.
Uh-huh.
There's always the head chopper and
You need the
crimes against
guillotine.
the
You need the
American
guillotine to
people,
come
against
back.
humanity.
So depressing. Think about this.
It's not. It's an opportunity. I mean, chaos is a ladder, right? But
Right. But how do we seize this opportunity for the
Wani,
chaos that may be
you and I
coming?
are Asian. If things really go bad, we don't have to be on this side of the Pacific Ocean. End of
Where do
story.
we go?
Anywhere but here. It doesn't matter. It's the same question
But-
as the Southern Vietnamese. You can be anywhere on this planet, but you just cannot be in Saigon. You will die. You'll be murdered and raped to death.
So, but if America goes down, it takes everybody. I mean, everything's still dollarized.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, there's no alternate currency at this point. If America takes a huge loss, the whole world follows, and
Right.
maybe it's back in 8 years, but instantaneous, you've got problems, and all of your investments are going to be dollarized.
Right. The whole world will be affected no matter
mean,
what.
It's not like we're going to buy land in Uzbekistan or someplace that's not affected.
Argentina is the favorite place.
What's that?
Argentine.
Argentina.
Oh yeah.
Good
But-
beef though.
But they've all got their own problems.
Yeah. Um,
Any case.
Yeah.
Shut up.
so yeah, well, I know don't worry, Wani, just
Oh, I just
more
want to know,
more
just want to
fundamentals.
be prepared.
Guns, gold, and food is a start. Is a start. Okay. Okay. Next domestic item. Ford ditches electric SUV as industry continues to backpedal. Blah blah blah. We talked about this to death. A little bit behind on time. We'll fast forward. Again, last week we talked about Ozempic and stomach paralysis in 1 in 20. It's basically kidney stones for your stomach. So yeah, and then to what's his name? Who mentioned earlier? Charles Sater mentioned that it's the glucagon, the synthetic glucagon is sourced from the Gila monster, and it's a venom. So the suicide ideation kind of makes sense from a pheromone perspective. And again,
I just read this. That would be 1 in 25 or 125,
yeah.
which seems like a much less number than whatever you're talking about, the kidney stones.
Yeah, that's separate from this, but yeah, still 5% like of people whose stomachs just stop working. Like that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Speaking of more fun demographics, as property owners, we want to be away from violent crime rates, obviously, but we need to know where they are. Okay. A lot in Alaska, ironically, New Mexico, the South, of course. Anything, Montana is kind of high. Where's our Montana representative? Yeah, Rob's not here yet.
Illinois is not bad. That's really
Yeah,
surprising.
they might be reporting this, or this might be exclusively black on black crime, which is horrific. I didn't know Tennessee was this bad. Like Alaska's tripping me out here. There's that much crime there. Maine is safe. Hell, Florida
Yeah, I
looks
was about to
normal.
say that.
Yeah, Florida looks normal for once. That's just bizarre. And Washington, D.C., right? Maryland is looking pretty bad at 400. Oh, DC 812. Oh my gosh, did you see this? They wrote it in white. The graphic designer should be shot, but sure. DC's really bad. Arkansas, sorry, New Mexico's number 2, Arkansas's number 3. Wow. Okay. Thanks, FBI. This is courtesy of 2022 data too. And I imagine now it's a lot worse since the illegal problem is rampant.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of economic pressure.
Yeah. All right. Existing home sales, sluggish. Oh, so let's take a look at our tradable to-dos with home sales. And that's with ITB, the Home Builders ETF. We got everything in there from Lowe's to Home Depot to paint and lumber and everything else in between, and appliances, I believe. ITB. All right, so ITB, like everybody else, is salivating at the thought of reduced rates. So the 10-year yield will drop temporarily with the sugar high, and mortgage apps will spike for 2 weeks, and then everything will be priced in. But yeah, I would keep an eye on ITB if you guys are trying to play real estate home sales. But it does look a little bit sideways and uncertain at the moment. At least with momentum, though, there are inflows since looks like early July, but it's not strong. All right, cool. Let's take a look at more commercial real estate funds things. And here's a big building in Philly, downtown Philly. It was appraised for less than 25% of its value from 2021. That's horrific. Let's see how many square feet this was. Oh, it doesn't say, but it has fallen to 73% occupancy and into receivership. Holy cow. Um, yeah, this building's net cash flow was off by about 2% from the time its loan was underwritten. I think most owners will. Okay, this is an optimistic statement. It's something else. But yeah, this will get a lot worse over time. And let's see, we're seeing New York, Chicago, and San Francisco offices with 70% drops from the original appraisal. Wow. So it's not the end of the world. He's saying it's relative. So it's not just going to be Philly that's going to go down. It's all the coastal cities. So exciting times there. And then, yeah, here's illegals will get favorable loans. Yeah, wonderful. All right, let's switch to tech news. We talked about Palo Alto Networks and their crisis management. You know what? For fun, I should apply this job and just report back. Maybe I should. Okay. Would I qualify? I don't
You
know.
should be.
I mean, but my resume doesn't read well. My resume looks really choppy. I look yeah, my resume looks like I hop around too much, but that's partially not my fault. Like the closer I got to C-suite, the more crazy my coworkers ended up looking. Like it's not good when a CEO is banging your boss. Like that's never good. But that's happened at two firms, and I got caught in the crossfire, and yeah, it's not good. Okay, but yeah, we're not gonna worry about that.
Or-
Okay, switching to the next tech news. Let's see. Microchip Tech had an unauthorized party that compromised certain servers and business operations. Of course, but let's start by blaming the Russians for sure. So this is great for scaring the industry a little bit straight. But yeah, no surprises there. Let's talk Michael Lynch for a second and look at this super yacht footage. And for a lot of us who are unfamiliar with Mike Lynch, let me pull up his bio really quick. He was involved in selling, I think, his HP stock. Yeah, he sold autonomy to HP in 2011. There was a lot of fraud involved, and he also started Dark Trace, which is sort of like a prototype of what Palantir has become. So this guy is connected with was it MI5 or MI6, whichever one is the international arm, I forget. And
MI6.
yeah, MI6, okay. And then conveniently, he died on his super yacht off of Sicily, and his business partner died concurrently in a car accident. But yeah, here's the boat, 184 feet long, crew of 10. And when this went down, all the hatches were open, which is like that's not what it's for. And if you know anything about water spouts, these do not form easily on the ocean. Like, how many times have you gone to the beach and seen a tornado on the water?
Yeah.
Yeah, like this is statistically like really low probability. And the Mediterranean ocean currents are similar to California. We're almost the same latitude. So if you don't see it here, you won't really see it there. But then you look at like HARP weather technology and weather warfare, then things go into darker rabbit holes. But this is just a really complicated like situation. And Q bono, which is, who benefits? If I'm a billionaire and I want to disappear and I maybe want to try to kill my, wife, I might do it this way. I'm not saying OJ was right, but I'll just say I understand. Okay. But yeah, very suspicious, assume the worst, and yeah, just bizarre situations here. Okay. Let's go back to the rest of our news. A little short on time, but yeah, we'll skip layoff data. Jobless claims are still at 33-month highs. Strikes are hitting the rail system in Canada. The left hand and the right hand between the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics and the Commerce Department apparently don't talk to each other. And there was a funny meme that came up here. If you guys have seen, what you will call it, Office Space. Obviously, the Commerce Secretary doesn't know what she's doing, and you gotta call in the Bobs to ask, so what would you say you do here? And then this former governor, basically is the epitome of the Peter principle, which is you get promoted to your level of incompetence. And then hopefully the marketing director isn't Warren, because he's gonna commit suicide if he sees all these shenanigans in the workplace. Or burn it down. One of the two. But yeah, so what happened was, yeah, at a press conference, she replied, when asked about the revision, she said, I am not familiar with that. Wonderful. All right, good times there. But yeah, we'll skip this bullshit E3 fix here. Or was it U3? Yeah. Okay, let's get to international news. As we talked about in the highlight reel, American assets are being deployed into Ukrainian territories, and kind of hard to hide it now that the captured forces are being detained. So that's optimistic. Mpox, meanwhile, lockdowns are not likely just yet. Just yet, yeah. So it's not the right timing yet, but yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. Obviously, the UK is running out of liquefied natural gas, among other things, and it's going to be a difficult winter for them. And again, Putin is still honoring his contracts, and a lot of gas and fuel is still flowing from the east to the west through the traditional overland service pipes. But that situation can change quickly. And I thought this is kind of sad. If you guys have followed the UK fiascos at all, this came out recently. And for my fellow white homeboys, you guys can't say anything, so I will. This is hella fucked up and racist as a motherfucker. So I'll say it, right? But yeah, like, you know, the UK has lost their mind. It's you know, besides great Indian food, like, I don't know a single reason to visit the UK. It's ridiculous.
You know, most of these policies are BLM and Rainbow is highly hateful.
It
I mean,
really
yeah,
is.
It
all the
is.
time. If you start looking at what the words are on individuals,
Yeah.
it's scary.
And
get away
like the Rotterdam rapes have been going on since the 1970s. Like, there's no reason for this. Like, just shoot them. Like, I don't know what else to say. And if you don't have guns in England, get creative. Like, yeah, like, come on, guys. But yeah, so yeah, diamonds are cheap. No surprises there. And let's look at green cards. All right, where do most of the green cards come from? Mexico, India, China, the DR, Cuba, the Philippines, El Salvador, Vietnam, Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guatemala, Jamaica, and South Korea. This would be funny to divide applications by GDP contribution. And then this would flip, right? It would be like the Koreans, the Chinese, and the Indians. And then the Philippines somewhere in the middle. Okay. Yeah.
Ukraine would be on my list.
Ukraine.
I was guessing.
Ukraine, actually, that is not as, so that's a good hypothesis, but ironically, the women left and the men got stuck and conscripted. So the per capita heavy hitters are still stuck or dead in the Ukraine, ironically. And the women are traditional war brides and found new suitors. Like, that is the grim reality.
Well, I'm trying to think how it takes 6 months after being married to an American to get a green card. So I mean, that's a giant number.
And
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then Russia has a new amnesty, new amnesty. Yo,
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah. So Putin has opened up a sort of ideological asylum. So for those who dislike the Western global homo traditions, holy shit, he is basically allowing a special visa applicant, a visa application to immigrate to Russia. It's kind of wild. So yeah, I'll drop that in the chat. Okay, fun times. Let's talk uranium for a second. This is kind of waking up. And for a lot of our fellow CCJ holders, we've been waiting forever. It's been quite the boring asset class as a while, but yeah. We're a little bit out of time here. All right, let's talk gold and silver since that's been blowing up. All right, gold right now, 24.82, silver 28.97. Gold silver ratio is about 86. And we saw it as high as almost 90 on my birthday. Yay. Okay, and then after that, it's been ticking down a little bit. So yeah, effectively, you're gonna have 1 ounce of gold by about 85 ounces of silver. And relatively speaking, silver is still really, really cheap. My own sell signal isn't until like the gold silver ratio hits at least under 20. So yeah, maybe 10 even. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah,
Under 20?
Yeah,
like 20 to 1. So 1 ounce of gold buys 20 ounces of silver.
20 to 1.
That's not gonna happen.
You want to bet, Dave? You want to bet? You want to bet? You want to bet? You want to bet?
I'm
You want to
not sure
bet?
I'm gonna
You want to
bet,
bet? You want to bet? Shut up or put up. You want to bet? Yes or no?
All right, okay,
Bet, bet.
whatever.
All right. But yeah, we'll see it. We'll see it happen. Give it some time, Dave. All right. But yeah, historically, we saw this peak around COVID. So it got as high as 120. But premium skyrocketed at 122. So the best trade was probably when I did it at 100. Okay. Cool. And then due to the high gold valuation, certain larger bars are now worth $1 million. So a 400 ounce bar. What's
Wow.
400 divided by 16? How many pounds is that? A 25-pound gold bar is worth $1 million. So
Wow.
yeah, and people will stick that up their butt and try to get on an airplane with it. But yeah.
Troy ounces are bigger, so that's
Oh, okay.
Right,
So
right.
somewhere around there, yeah. So about 20 pounds then. So yeah.
Hey, Warren, I have a question about
Mhm.
like how to store your gold and silver, like a safety box if you want to store in your house. What do you do?
Well, number one, you don't tell anybody. Number
Okay.
two, you diversify it. So you spread it out. And then the best way to hide it is in plain sight.
In plain sight.
And if you don't have a dummy safe at your home, you should have one. You need the
Yeah, I
real
don't.
one that's hidden like very well, and then you need a dummy one that's kind of hidden reasonably well, has about $5,000 in small bills, maybe a disposable handgun. And so when you get robbed and they stick a gun next to your head, you have to open up something. You open up the dummy safe, you play dumb, you cry, and then they run away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what kind of safety box? I mean, the safe, what kind to buy? Or do you know of anyone?
Whatever you want to buy, it's a very easy answer. Look what you like. We should talk offline, but look at what you want to buy,
Okay.
and then go to this guy's channel, Lock Picking Lawyer. And if he
Yeah,
can defeat
gonna say.
whatever you're gonna buy, don't buy it. And he publishes videos on how he defeats everything.
Okay.
He's great.
Yeah. So
There's a lot of things that they can just be opened. It's great. Because
Yeah.
it comes into effect for gun safes and lots of other things
Yeah.
too.
So, with enough time or explosives, every safe can be defeated. And if I can't open it at your house and I'm robbing you, I'll just take it with me. So if it's not bolted
Right.
down, yeah.
Right. You want something that no one can like take it out of your house, right?
Yeah.
Something super heavy.
So like ironically, like my main gun safe, like my main large gun safe is empty, or it doesn't have the valuables that you actually think would be in there, because
Mm-hmm.
that's too obvious. Like you open it up, it's ammo. Like yeah, it's valuable, but it's not my goal and shit. So
Mm-hmm.
there's lots of ways to do this. But yeah, just talk to me. We could be creative. And again, you need to not tell people like how you set this up,
Mm-hmm.
because people will kill and shoot you for it. Yeah. Okay, fun stuff
Wow.
there. Okay, let's go to China stuff, the fun stuff, and then we'll call it a day here. All right, the China stock market has still not survived, and it's still below its 3,000 key psychological price level here. And as you can see on the larger scale, the stock market has gone nowhere for 15 years because Beijing and Shanghai economies have been robbing the whole country for cash money. It's been a giant shakedown since Nixon was there. Okay, so that's the stock market. And let's take a quick glance at the RMB conversion rate really quick. Oh, let's look at the Japanese one too, while we're at it. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so so let's look at China. So looks like deflationary pressures have continued to maintain, and no amount of M2 money printing is going to really fix this. So Beijing's really fucked. So this was 7.2. It's dropped down to 7.1 and change. So holy shit. Switching to the Japanese, we're at what? 146. So it's a lot better, but it's not the extreme of 161. But 140 is like these are like people are still going to starve to death in Japan. All right. Okay. Let's talk COVID really quick. So there's been some more reports and social media stuff of COVID issues in China. And to me, this is just an excuse for government suppression of civil unrest. It's not really about COVID, of course. So we'll keep our eye on that. But yeah, what I'm not seeing in China is monkeypox. So once that flares up, then I'll be a little bit concerned. But I'm watching out for all the same telltale signs from 2019. And yeah, we'll see how that shakes up. But yeah, meanwhile, on the around the South China Seas, there's still a lot of beef between the Chinese Coast Guard and Filipino vessels. So that's kind of crazy. And speaking of the Philippines, a mayor has fled the Philippines, and in a very mysterious fashion, no less. So yes, let me fast forward a little bit. She allowed human trafficking syndicates and scam centers to operate in her district. And her own Chinese heritage is quite questionable. And if you know anything about Filipinos, like being Chinese is known like it's an aristocratic mark of nobility because supposedly you're richer and you're more fair-skinned, and having fair-skinned features in minority countries or in colored countries is a big deal. And then she skipped town in a very interesting way. So she left illegally without border checks. So she got off on a boat or something, or it was a helicopter. So this overlaps the prime minister or the second gen prime minister of Bangladesh, like whatever her name is. So kind of interesting parallel. But yeah. And yeah, this is her. She would be considered quite beautiful and for being this light-skinned in the Philippines. But yeah, most Filipinos do not look like this. But yeah, she is a full-on commie spy. So yeah, thanks, Philippines. You guys are fucking everything up. Okay. But yeah, other than that, China is in massive chaos. I don't even know where to begin. Everything is worse than ever. Civil servants aren't being paid. The entire banking sector has to pay back their wages. Like that is not a mark of strength. And the reason the Bangladesh issue was so bad was youth unemployment there exploded beyond 20%. And then they started killing and raping Hindu women, which is the ethnic cleansing. They're the minority targets for all that ethnic cleansing. So Xi Jinping is a very close ally with Bangladesh. So he was hiding for 3 weeks. And he recently just came out of his shell to record a video. So yeah, China is paying a lot of attention to their neighbors. But yeah, okay. And what else is good? Yeah, as we'll talk about COVID, where it did. There's more, the tariffs have been reduced for Tesla, China, for Chinese sourced Teslas, but they're still holding true for the Li Auto stuff and the BYD equivalents. And as promised earlier, here is a potential future of China. Like they have to pick which crash landing. And so here's the reality for Japanese locals who cannot get out of the way of the currency risk because they're not, you know, the Forex trading housewives club. But yeah, for English teachers stuck there, like this guy, he's starving to death, eats one meal a day. His Japanese girlfriend wants to get married, and he's like, I'm sorry, honey, I can't even pay for the train fare for a date today. Like, yeah, so that's serious localized currency risk. And so that's one potential reality for China. And here's the other side of the spectrum. The Venezuelan plan. Shout outs to 2016 and 2017, if you guys remember this. Venezuelans as a group collectively lost 24 pounds in body weight. Oh my
They don't
God.
need Ozempic then.
I know, just go to Venezuela. And like,
Yeah, just
like-
have people starve.
I don't think Venezuelan women can lose 24 pounds. You know, if you only weigh 120 and you lose, you know, another 24 pounds, like, you know, there goes the ass and the tits and everything. And you're gonna have like if you lose that much weight that fast, like you'll go into like menopause practically. Your periods will stop. You'll be anemic. It's gonna be a nightmare. But yeah, and like this sounds terrifying, but mass graves and famine is maybe a handful of years away for most of the Chinese stuck in China. I would be terrified to live in China because 60% of the population is urbanized and everyone's really far away from food production. And, you know, China has enough problems with like fake foods and whatnots. And these are the good times, relatively speaking. Wait till there's warfare with the US and everything else and real troops on the streets. You know, the lockdowns are just an audition. And most people, you know, when the local CCP officials came to Weldon, you know, apartment gate shut, most people just took it and starved to death. That's not good for anybody. So yeah,
So 20% mostly starvation is how you end the socialism.
mass graves and
Mhm.
starvation.
I mean, literally, it's a trend line. You can draw it
Yeah.
through a lot of countries.
Because you can vote your way into tyranny, but there's only one way out of tyranny, which is to shoot your way out. You can ask the Cambodians, you know, anyone, you know, like guns are going to be involved. So yeah.
So it's starvation, famine.
Yeah, take your pick. Take your pick.
Machetes.
The Machete Club. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
And we talked about before, China banned the purchase of chef knives and stuff. You have to report that to the local
Really?
police. We talked about it. Yeah. We talked about this
Oh.
last year. Remember, like
Oh,
I bring the cutting edge Chinese intel to you guys. Like it's so saturated now because there's so much of it. But yeah.
That's because they're afraid people will use it against the government.
100%.
fight
Why do you
back?
think? Why do you think commies
Yeah.
ban guns? Like commies do a handful of things. The first three things they do: ban firearms, seize control of the courts,
Right.
and seize control of the media, and then seize
Right.
control of the currency.
Right.
Or crash it.
Yeah.
But what can you do? How can you fight the government with just the knives? That's almost like
You
impossible.
don't. And then there's a Chinese proverb,
Yeah.
of the 36 ways to handle trouble, the best one is to leave.
Right.
So I mean, some of them are smart and heading to San Diego. I don't think that's the right move. I mean, a lot of Chinese nationals are moving to Thailand and Vietnam,
Hmm.
and Foxconn is there, so that's not as insane as it sounds. So yeah, lots of optimistic news. Let's end this session with a quick poll. And let's redo our earlier poll and let's see if today's sentiment has changed after the last 2 hours. All right. And we don't have a lot in earnings today, but let me pull up the list really quick for us. What is it today? Oh, no, this is the old one. Okay.
You have a Kava,
Yeah, Kava.
Workday, Rost,
Yeah, there we go. Kava, Intuit, Bill.com, which
Intuit.
is right in
Mhm.
San Mateo. And then we have Hafina tomorrow. I don't know what that is. Wait, Opera was yesterday? Opera is public? Wow,
What
everyone in
opera?
there. Opera is an internet browser. It's actually really good.
Oh.
Yeah. I like, before I had to do a lot of browser testing. So I play with all the browsers, but yeah.
I think it used to be on IBD's list for a while.
Oh. Who owns
Uh,
it? Who owns opera?
Uh,
The stockholders.
that's-
It's public.
I know what company.
Opera.
Oh, okay. Opera. Okay.
It's a web browser. It's actually really
Not
robust. It has a really nice tab grouping system. I'm getting really upset at Brave, so I've been trying to rotate out of this, but yeah.
But they're all based on Chromium.
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
I think there's one that isn't.
Oh, it's Norwegian. Okay, that's cool.
Oh,
Tall, lanky mofos. All those Vikings, the Dutch, everybody, they're freaking giants. I'm average height there, if you can believe that. It's ridiculous. But yeah, let's go
I
to
have it on myself just to have another independent browser.
Yeah, it's really handy. So yeah, this is their performance. IBD Darling. Oh, I could see why. Cup and handle, right? Cup and handle. I mean, where's the handle? But yeah.
It was a while ago when I saw it, maybe like 12 months ago. Not now.
Yeah. I think yeah, on 12 months side, like this is like a beautiful, uh this side is nice, but I guess this is the handle. But then this is the handle. I don't know. It's like it depends on our rule set. Technically, it's not really fulfilling classic handle formation, but yeah.
But when you trade earnings, technical